Wake-up call you'll hear this year, because dementia doesn't appear overnight. It slowly grows, fed by small daily habits that seem harmless, but quietly steal memory, clarity, and independence. But here's the truth most people don't realize: the same daily routine that harms the brain. If you're an older adult or someone who deeply cares for one, today's message might be the most important, can be transformed into a powerful force that builds strength, sharpness, and youthful energy at any age. The most damaging habit is ignoring your brain's need for stimulation, nourishment, and rest. When days become repetitive, when the mind stops learning, or when stress becomes constant, the brain becomes weaker. But the moment you choose to break this cycle, everything changes. You can reignite your mental energy, rebuild sharper thinking, and create a lifestyle that keeps your brain thriving well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The truth about brain health is that it's not shaped by big, dramatic choices. It's shaped by the small, repeated habits we practice every single day. Dementia rarely arrives as a sudden event. It's the result of years of patterns that silently weaken the mind. Many older adults don't realize that the routines they've grown used to are either strengthening their cognitive resilience or slowly stealing their clarity. When the mind is left unstimulated, when days become repetitive, when learning stops, or when stress becomes a constant companion, the brain begins to lose its sharpness. The pathways responsible for memory, focus, and problem-solving weaken over time, and the ability to think clearly becomes harder. This doesn't happen overnight. It's built from hundreds of unnoticed choices that accumulate into long-term decline. Mental inactivity is one of the most overlooked dangers. If the brain is not challenged regularly with new information, fresh experiences, or meaningful engagement, it becomes less efficient. Just like muscles shrink when not used, neural networks weaken when the mind is left idle. Even small actions like reading a new book, learning a skill, solving puzzles, or engaging in meaningful conversations can stimulate the brain and protect it from cognitive decline. When the brain is consistently engaged, it forms new pathways and strengthens existing ones, creating a powerful defense against dementia. Stress is another silent habit that damages brain health. Chronic stress releases hormones that gradually wear down the brain's ability to process information and regulate emotions. Over time, this constant pressure affects memory and thinking speed. Many older adults carry stress from finances, loneliness, illness, or unresolved worries. But few realize that stress itself becomes a daily habit, one that harms the brain as much as poor diet or inactivity. Breaking this cycle requires intentional choices like deep breathing, meditation, light walking, or simply learning to pause before reacting. These small acts signal the nervous system to slow down, helping the brain stay balanced and strong. Poor sleep is also a daily habit with long-term consequences. When older adults fall into patterns of sleeping too little, sleeping too late, or relying heavily on screens before bed, the brain doesn't receive the time it needs for repair. During deep sleep, the brain clears out toxins, stores memories, and strengthens neural connections. Without quality rest, this cleaning process becomes incomplete, allowing harmful substances to accumulate. Over years, this contributes to cognitive decline. By improving sleep routines, reducing screen time, keeping a consistent bedtime, and creating a relaxing environment, older adults can transform the health of their brain almost overnight. Even patterns related to diet, hydration, and social interaction become habits that influence brain health. When meals lack nutrients, when water intake is ignored, or when days pass in isolation, the brain receives less of what it needs to stay active and resilient. These habits feel small, but their impact is enormous. The brain thrives on consistency, nourishment, stimulation, and connection. The moment a person recognizes how deeply these daily patterns influence the mind, they gain the power to change their future. Daily habits can either weaken the brain or strengthen it, and the choice begins with awareness. Nutrition plays one of the most powerful roles in maintaining memory, protecting cognitive function, and reducing the risk of dementia. Yet many older adults underestimate how deeply their daily food choices influence the brain. The brain is an energy-hungry organ, using up to 20% of the body's fuel, and the quality of that fuel determines how well it performs. When the diet lacks essential nutrients, antioxidants, and healthy fats, the brain becomes more vulnerable to inflammation, oxidative stress, and age-related decline. But the opposite is also true when older adults consistently choose nutrient-rich foods. They provide their brain with the building blocks needed to stay sharp, energetic, and resilient. Colorful fruits and vegetables are some of the most powerful tools for brain health. Berries, in particular, are rich in antioxidants that protect neurons from damage and support better communication between brain cells. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and mustard greens provide vitamins such as folate and vitamin K, which have been shown to support better cognitive performance. Even a simple habit of adding a handful of berries to breakfast or including greens at lunch and dinner can create noticeable improvements in mental clarity and focus over time. These foods help reduce inflammation, one of the leading contributors to cognitive decline. Nuts and seeds also play an important role. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds contain healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids, which support brain structure and communication between neurons. Omega-3 salts are essential for memory and mood, and regular intake has been associated with slower brain aging. These foods are easy to incorporate into meals sprinkled on salads, blended into smoothies, or eaten as simple snacks. Their benefits accumulate quietly but powerfully in the background of daily life. Whole grains are another key to maintaining healthy cognitive function. Unlike refined carbs that spike blood sugar and cause energy crashes, whole grains release glucose steadily, providing the brain with a stable fuel source. Foods like oats, brown rice, millet, and whole grain bread support better focus, balanced energy, and reduced inflammation. Consistent blood sugar levels are essential for older adults because fluctuations can affect memory, mood, and long-term brain health. Hydration is often overlooked but critical. Even mild dehydration can impair short-term memory, concentration, and decision-making. As people age, their sense of thirst naturally decreases. So many older adults do not realize when they are underhydrated. Drinking water throughout the day, adding hydrating foods like watermelon and cucumbers, and reducing excessive caffeine intake can help maintain optimal brain function. A well-hydrated brain communicates more efficiently, processes information faster, and remains more resistant to fatigue. Herbs and spices also offer surprising benefits. Turmeric, with its active compound curcumin, is known for its strong anti-inflammatory effects and has been linked to improved mood and memory. Garlic, ginger, cinnamon, and rosemary support blood flow to the brain and fight oxidative stress. Incorporating these into meals adds both flavor and protection against cognitive decline. A brain-nourishing diet is not about perfection, but consistency. Each colorful vegetable, each glass of water, each serving of nuts or whole grains becomes a small investment in long-term brain health. Over time, these choices build a stronger, clearer, more resilient mind. Light daily movement is one of the most powerful and accessible ways to keep the brain young. Yet many older adults underestimate how deeply physical activity affects cognitive health. The brain depends on blood flow to receive oxygen and nutrients, and even gentle exercise increases their circulation, helping neurons function more efficiently. When a person moves their body, they stimulate the release of chemicals that enhance mood, sharpen thinking, and support the growth of new brain cells. This means that movement is not just about physical fitness, it is an essential tool for maintaining memory, clarity, and emotional stability as we age. Many older adults avoid exercise because they assume it requires intense effort, heavy weights, or complicated routines. In reality, the brain responds incredibly well to the simplest forms of movement. A 10-minute walk around the house, light stretching before breakfast, gentle arm circles, slow-paced dancing, or chair exercises done while watching television can have a significant impact. These small, consistent activities help increase heart rate just enough to enhance blood flow to the brain without causing strain. Every time the heart pumps a little faster, it sends fresh oxygen to brain cells that keep them healthy and active. Movement also helps reduce inflammation, which is a major contributor to cognitive decline and dementia. When the body stays still for too long, inflammation can rise, leading to joint stiffness, low energy, and slower thinking. Light activity interrupts this process by activating muscles, improving circulation, and releasing anti-inflammatory substances naturally produced by the body. As a result, regular gentle exercise can improve overall comfort, mobility, and mental sharpness. Another powerful benefit of movement is its ability to regulate mood and reduce stress. When older adults move their bodies, they release endorphins, chemicals that elevate mood and reduce feelings of anxiety or sadness. This emotional balance is important because chronic stress and depression can harm brain cells over time. Even a slow walk in fresh air or a few minutes of stretching can shift the mind out of stress mode and back into calm, focused thinking. Many older adults report feeling lighter, happier, and more energized after incorporating simple movement into their day. Light daily activity also improves sleep quality, which directly supports brain health. Regular movement helps regulate the body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. When the body experiences gentle physical exertion during the day, the brain receives a signal that rest is needed at night. Better sleep gives the brain the time it needs to repair itself, remove toxins, and store memories properly. This creates a positive cycle where movement improves sleep, and sleep improves cognitive function. Perhaps one of the most inspiring aspects of gentle exercise is that it sends a powerful message to the brain. Growth is still happening. Movement tells the brain that the body is active, engaged, and ready for new experiences. This encourages the production of new neural connections and helps protect older adults from rapid mental decline. The key is not perfection, but consistency. Each step taken, each stretch held, and each moment of movement becomes a small investment in long-term cognitive strength. Quality sleep is one of the most essential yet underrated foundations of brain health, and its impact becomes even more significant as we age. Many older adults treat sleep as something unimportant or optional, but the truth is that the brain relies on restful sleep to repair itself, organize memories, and flush out harmful waste that accumulates during the day. When sleep becomes irregular or shallow, the brain cannot perform these vital functions effectively, leading to forgetfulness, irritability, slow thinking, and a higher risk of long-term cognitive decline. Dementia does not appear suddenly. It builds over years. And poor sleep is one of the habits that speeds up this process quietly and consistently. During deep sleep, the brain activates a powerful cleaning system called the glymphatic system. This system removes toxins and proteins that can damage neurons if they build up over time. One of these proteins is beta amyloid, which is strongly linked to dementia. When older adults regularly get insufficient sleep, these proteins accumulate more quickly, creating an environment that harms memory and cognitive function. This is why sleep is not just rested, it is a biological necessity that determines how well the brain ages. Many seniors struggle with sleep issues without realizing how much lifestyle habits contribute to them. Excessive screen time late at night, irregular sleep schedules, heavy meals before bed, or consuming caffeine too late in the day can interfere with the body's ability to wind down. Even emotional habits, such as worrying before bed or spending long hours sitting without movement, can disrupt the natural sleep cycle. By making small, intentional changes throughout the day, older adults can improve the quality of their sleep dramatically. Creating a calm bedtime routine is one of the most effective ways to support better rest. Simple actions like dimming the lights, reducing noise, practicing slow breathing, or reading something light can signal the brain that it is time to relax. The body thrives on routine, and going to bed at the same time each night helps the internal clock reset itself, making it easier to fall asleep naturally. Avoiding screens at least an hour before bed can also make a tremendous difference, because the blue light from phones and televisions interferes with melatonin, the hormone responsible for inducing sleep. Physical comfort plays a role as well. A supportive pillow, a comfortable mattress, and a cool, quiet room help the body relax more easily. Many older adults experience aches or stiffness at night, and gentle stretching or light movement during the day can reduce nighttime discomfort. Even a short evening walk can help release tension and prepare the body for rest. Better sleep also enhances emotional well-being. A rested brain can handle stress more effectively, regulate mood better, and stay more resilient throughout the day. In contrast, chronic lack of sleep makes it harder to focus, remember important details, or stay positive. Over time, this emotional strain can add to cognitive decline, creating a cycle of fatigue and forgetfulness. When older adults choose to prioritize sleep, they are giving their brain one of the greatest gifts possible. Consistent, high-quality sleep strengthens memory, protects cognitive function, and supports overall longevity. Each night of good rest becomes an investment in a sharper, healthier future. A positive mindset and strong social connections play a deeper role in brain health than most people realize, especially as we age. The way we think, the emotions we carry, and the relationships we maintain create real chemical changes in the brain that influence memory, mood, energy, and long-term cognitive strength. When older adults stay mentally engaged, emotionally hopeful, and socially connected, their brain responds with vitality. Neural pathways grow stronger, stress levels decrease, and mental clarity improves. On the other hand, when negative thinking becomes a habit or when isolation becomes the norm, the brain begins to shrink its activity. This emotional dullness, over time, contributes to cognitive decline and increases the risk of dementia. The power of mindset begins with belief. When a person believes that growth is still possible no matter their age, the brain releases hormones that support learning and memory. This is known as neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to reorganize and form new connections throughout life. Older adults who remain curious, who try new activities, who challenge their mind with learning, and who maintain a hopeful outlook activate this powerful mechanism. Whether it's practicing gratitude, reading, learning a hobby, or simply thinking positively about the future, these mental habits strengthen the brain in ways that medication alone cannot. Social connection is equally important. Human beings are wired for companionship, and the brain thrives when it interacts with others. Every conversation, every shared laugh, every moment of emotional warmth stimulates brain regions responsible for memory, language, and emotional regulation. Social engagement encourages the brain to process information, respond to cues, and stay alert. Older adults who regularly interact with friends, family, or community members often show slower cognitive decline compared to those who spend long periods alone. Loneliness, on the other hand, is one of the strongest predictors of memory loss. It increases stress hormones, reduces motivation, and creates a cycle of withdrawal that silently harms the brain. Staying connected doesn't require large social circles or busy calendars. Even small interactions, talking with a neighbor, joining a small group, calling a friend, or spending time with grandchildren help keep the mind active. These moments of connection create emotional stability, which in turn supports better decision-making, sharper thinking, and stronger memory. When older adults feel valued, heard, and supported, their sense of purpose strengthens. And purpose is one of the most powerful protectors of long-term brain health. Mindset also affects physical health. A hopeful, optimistic outlook reduces stress levels, improves sleep, encourages healthier eating, and increases the likelihood of staying active. When someone believes their actions matter, they are more likely to practice good habits. This creates a positive cycle where mental health improves physical health, and physical health improves brain function. Stress becomes easier to manage, resilience grows, and daily challenges feel less overwhelming. Choosing positivity is not about ignoring life's difficulties. It is about deciding to focus on growth rather than decline. It is about embracing aging with dignity, confidence, and curiosity. Combined with meaningful connections, this approach helps older adults feel more energetic, youthful, and engaged with the world. Over time, these emotional habits become powerful shields against cognitive decline, proving that the way we think and the people we surround ourselves with can truly shape the future of our brain. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more helpful videos and comment your country below. I'd love to know where you're watching from.